Sir, we have released the new Gan 3x3 lineup with the slight changes made at your request. And how are the sales going? Did they buy into the slight changes with the new gimmick add-ons for 50% more cost? You won't believe this, but yes, everyone loves the new release and are still buying it at the higher cost. Wow, if that worked, I'm sure people will buy into this. How about we make a Skewb with the same features as our 3x3 lineup, except make it double the price of all the other Skewb flagships. You know, that might actually work. People pay all kinds of money for our products, so why not add even more puzzles to the lineup as well? Genius. Okay, let me get to work. Hello and welcome back to another cubing video. I hope you liked that intro, though of course it was a joke. Or was it? But to be fair, I am extremely impressed with this new release from Gan, so let's get right into the review. First off, the feeling of this cube. This cube has a very customizable feel with the first electricity adjustment system in a Skewb. More on that later. I've done a ton of solves on this cube since getting it just the other day, so let's get right into the feeling of this cube. So right out of the box, it was super glidey and smooth and fast as well. So it was a really nice feeling cube right out of the box and I really enjoyed it. I did a bunch of solves and looked into the actual system, the adjustment system of the cube. So I'm gonna review that later, but yeah, so this cube really doesn't lock up that much during solves, and then the popping is non-existent at all. Like there is no popping on this cube because of the mechanism, the design of this cube. Then corner twisting, it really depends on what settings you have this cube at. It's pretty hard to corner twist unless you have a certain setting where it's much looser and the springs are much more elastic. So onto the corner cutting. The corner cutting is really good. As you can see, it cuts very well there, not quite line to line, but then again, that's kind of pushing it. But during your solves, you really don't feel it locking up that much as long as you have the right settings. Then the shades of this cube are just awesome. Like these are probably one of my favorite shades on a stickerless cube ever. The green is just, it's perfect. It's not too bright, it's not too dark. The orange is perfect. Blue is nice and dark, red's nice and dark, yellow is kind of yellow but not super bright yellow, and then the white is, well, white. And then out of the box performance with no lube. This cube really impressed me with no lube, no setup. I still haven't set it up and I'm doing a review on it. If that kind of shows you how this thing performs without any setup at all. So of course, I did change around the settings just a little bit, only a few clicks, but, and I'll get into that later as well, but without any lube, this cube just performs amazingly. Then let's get into the internals of this cube, but before we do that, I do want to say most of you are not subscribed, so if you are not subscribed yet, make sure to tap that subscribe button and like the video for more content like this. I'm going to be releasing a lot more videos in the near future, a lot more exciting ones. So yeah, but let's get right into the internals of this Skewb. So before opening this thing up, I do want to note, let's compare one other Skewb just for reference. Let's say the Wingy Skewb, but notice how big these center gaps are compared to, say, the Wingy Skewb. These are much smaller and you can definitely see a much bigger gap between the Gan centers and corners. And this really does help with corner cutting and just it not catching as much. And just like the gliding feel, although that's more of the plastic, but I'll get into that in a bit. Then for the magnets, this thing has a very unique magnet design. Let's get right into that. So as you can see in the center, each corner not only has a magnet on the edges of the corner, but it also has 8 magnets in the core of the puzzle. This creates a much stronger and more stable, a lot more stable in my opinion, feel to this cube. I really do like the core magnetic positioning system of this cube, and combined with the edges, it just makes a very controllable feeling. And that's probably why out of the box, I really expressed it as a very controllable cube. And then another thing I want to note before moving on to the tensioning system of this cube is the honeycomb design. If you can see there, let me get this thing to focus. As you can see there, the center and the corners both have honeycomb designs. Now this I really do like. Some of you may be wondering if this really is worth it. And let me just take the two other Skewbs and show you the comparison between these two designs. Now, I know that the Wingy is a slightly older cube, however, this is still accurate. So, as you can see here, it's just smooth. And I do want to say I've been through two Wingies now. The first one just got so clogged up with the plastic and lube inside the cube that I couldn't clean out. It just basically cemented itself into the plastic because there's no anti-friction design, and so it's just smooth plastic against smooth plastic, which means when you lubricate this thing, sure, it may feel like smooth and whatever, but the lube just gets stuck in between the internals of the cube, and it just creates a lot more friction in the long run, and thus that's why this is my second Wingy Skewb now. So that is one thing I really wanted to note. And going on to the Gan Skewb, it has the honeycomb design as well as these right here, which really helps with anti-friction with the pieces. And then the lube, if there is an excess of lube, it can go into the holes, and that should provide a much longer lasting Skewb. This is just my experience, and I've done a lot of Skewb solves before, but I don't know if this is the same with other people, but I did really want to note that. And this is something I really like with the Gan Skewb. So let's get right into the tensioning system and how it works of this Skewb. So this Skewb does come with this as well, which is extra. Now this is 6 extra 2+ tensioning options where you can switch out the light blue for the dark blue, and then you have 2 more tensioning options to choose from here as well. With slightly different settings. These are 2 and 4. It's a numerical GES nut system, and then this has 1 and 3. Now, it is not a screwdriver, so you can move it with your fingers, kind of just like this. That kind of pops it off, but then you can move it just like that. And that is the tensioning system. Now, not only that, but this cube has a spring elasticity adjustment system in this cube. Like, this is the first cube with this advanced of a tensioning system, and I actually personally really enjoy it. So what you do is you can put the tensioning tool just like that, where it locks into the clear piece, and if you turn counterclockwise, it will click. So let me just get it right back to normal. There is the default setting. And as you click this, it tightens the springs, which does make for a maybe more controllable, a little bit more tight, but faster feeling of the springs, if I'm not mistaken. My favorite tensioning setting on this cube is actually number 3 on the light blue nut there, and then if you go counterclockwise 4 clicks, that makes for a tighter spring, and thus this cube really is a lot more faster, controllable, and it's not too loose to where it pops all the time. All this combined, is it worth $31.95 at speedshop.com? And do remember that you can use the discount code DAILY to save money on all your orders, and using that discount code you can get speed cubes for much less, and you can save money on all your speed cube orders, so don't forget that. But is it worth the $31? And I would have to say yes. So it depends on your level of difficulty. Of course, if you're a beginner, I would definitely recommend the $13 Wingy Skewb, which you can also get at speedcubeshop.com, as you can see there. For intermediate and more advanced solvers, I would probably recommend the Gan Skewb. I do have a comparison video coming out real soon, so stay tuned for that comparison. That will be coming out real soon. But this is definitely the best Skewb I have ever tried. Just out of the box, it's amazing. It triumphs over all my other Skewbs so far. Now, there is the less fast, less strong standard version for $21, and I would say between these two cubes, I have not tried the standard version. However, that would be completely up to you, your choice, which one you would get. Maybe the $21 may be better for a beginner or someone who isn't as high level. However, this is probably the best Skewb out on the market right now, top tier Skewb. So for $31, I guess this is the best Skewb that you can get right now. And that is my opinion. Now, others might not have that same opinion, but with all the customizable options of this Skewb, I do like, this is definitely my main, no question, and my favorite Skewb in my collection. So yeah, that is my review on this Gan Skewb. Definitely check it out at speedcubeshop.com. And thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and share it, and I will see you in the next video.